Hello, hello, hello! It's the Fat Boy back again with another Formula One My Team career mode. Now here we are in Austria, and I'm really sorry that I uploaded the video quite late. I'm sure you all expected it on Saturday, but yeah, I just want to take a break for a little bit and do it on Sunday. So what I'm doing here is that I'm just replacing all the one components, and I expected to get a grid penalty, but apparently I didn't. So I think we can just chuck in new, fresh components before qualifying, just to not get any penalties or anything. And looking at our facilities and all that, we are actually doing quite well. But I'm not sure why the upgrades are not displaying themselves. The complete upgrades, obviously. And I decided to get a front downforce upgrade, not the drag upgrade, because Hungary is coming up after Silverstone. So I want to get as much downforce as I can on the car, just so that I can have advantage in the corners against our rivals such as Alpha Tauri and Alpine. We are now fighting in the midfield, so that's a huge improvement as well. And before I forget, make sure to like and subscribe in order not to miss any F1 and FIFA content. And be sure to turn on notifications as well in order not to miss any future uploads. As now we head into qualifying for round 5, I think this is, of the Austrian Grand Prix here in the Formula One World Championship. As now we head down our first lap. The cars are very different from last season because obviously they're much faster and have more downforce, so I'm a bit rusty here. As now we head down the main straight, DRS open, it's a 1 minute 4.1 and it's only P17. And Guan Yu Zhou is only at P18, so really, since he's the rookie, I think he's like still struggling to get to grips with F1. As now we head into turn 7, now heading into turn 8, now the exit, now down to the run-up of turn 9 towards the end of sector 3. We are almost 2 tenths up as we now brake at the 50-meter board down to 6 gears. We get quite a bit of oversteer there, now heading into turn 10 with DRS open, and we are just above 2.5 tenths up, and we are in P13. But towards the end of Q1, we dropped to P15 and we are only 1/10, or should I say less than 1/10 of Robert Schwartzman. And I'm playing this on 97 AI, so this should be the most suitable AI difficulty so that we can have more teammate battles with our teammate Robert Schwartzman. As now we head down the final corner into Q2 for my first lap, and it's going to be a 1 minute 3.7, and we are a couple of tenths off Lando Norris, but despite him being on the medium tires, which is obviously more the more kind of average tire with less grip and less straight line speed, comparing ourselves to a McLaren, we are actually improving quite a lot. We can actually start scoring points. I'm sure I've brought up this topic quite a lot as now we head on the final corner, but at least we're making slowly but surely kind of like improvements as we now cross the finish line, almost 1.5 tenths up, but we fall short of just below 2 tenths, and we managed to get ahead of Robert Schwartzman by only less than 3 tenths, almost 3 tenths. But unfortunately, our rival Fernando Alonso is in Q3, but we are starting P13, which is actually quite a good start towards the race, so most likely we could get points, and let's just hope for the best for season 2 of the Austrian Grand Prix.
This is it then, race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. Not long to go before our drivers hurtle off the line and into the first turn, the Niki Lauda curve, as it was renamed in 2019 in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Bottas, Lando Norris and Ricciardo, Gasly, Leclerc, Sainz and Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Ocon, the Black Mamba and Schwartzman, Stroll, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi and Guan Yu Zhou. Tigtum, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now, to be honest, I did have a thought that I would be starting at the back because I replaced the very worn out components with new fresh ones, but apparently I'm saying this for the second time, but can just replace the components after practice, but it must be before qualifying. And we do have a bit of rain heading our way into the final few laps of the race. There's only only a couple drops of rain as you can see from there, so it's not heavy. So probably we might go on to the Inters towards the end of the race. As now here come the 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. I thought I had a good start, but I did quite a lot of wheel spin. That's my second correction, and Robert Schwarzman and Lance Stroll already passed us now heading into turn 1. I think the Ferraris of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz also had a very bad start, as now Ocon and Schwarzman are side by side now heading into turn 2, and Lance Stroll is catching up on the mediums. The Aston Martins getting quite a lot of speed on his speed, as now we're going to make it 4 wide. Now heading into the hairpin of turn 3, Stroll just managed to fit in as we are 3 wide. I had to yield there because it was yellow flags. And now we are P15 and Giovinazzi now has the inside line, but I decided to park the car in the middle of the apex just so that Giovinazzi can't go for any switchbacks. Now heading into turn 4, now heading for the run up into turn 5. Well, if it wasn't for that bad start, I would have been up to P13 or P12 at this point in front of Schwartzman. As now we go a bit off the grass into the gravel, mainly because we have quite a bit of understeer because I applied the throttle a bit too early. As now we're heading towards the end of sector 3, as now Ocon is side by side with our teammate Robert Schwartzman. But Schwartzman is doing quite a good job at defending Ocon, as now Verstappen has the fastest lap of 1 minute 6.1. But obviously that will not be the fastest lap, mainly because that it was the opening lap. We were doing a standing start. So then now we try to go for a dive bomb on Ocon heading into turn 2. But Ocon has already covered the space, so we had to yield from the fight. But Ocon get quite a bit of a bad exit. Now we're going to set ourselves up for the dive bomb. Now heading into turn 2, almost getting Robert Schwartzman. But we clip his right rear tire. But fortunately we did not get any damage so far. And we do have a green sector 1. But I think sector 2 is going to be a red sector because of turn 3. We were quite slow, the apex. And we are just above 1 second of Robert Schwartzman. So hopefully we can get that below 1 second so that we can get DRS now heading into turn 6. Again, we are going onto the gravel because of understeer. I just applied the throttle a bit too much. I'm a bit trigger happy as of now. As now we switch to the onboard of Esteban Ocon, who has quite a bit of a very good exit. As now he tries to set himself up going down the inside heading into turn 9. But I managed to keep it on the I managed to keep the car on the track limits on the outside, and we managed to hold onto the lead here in P14. I wouldn't say the lead, I would say the wooden spoon as we now head into turn 1 for lap 3. DRS is obviously enabled as we now fast forward to lap 4. We have 2 green sectors so far. Now heading into the final few corners of sector 3, braking at 50 meters down to 6th gear. And now we head into the final corner. We now have DRS on Lance Stroll. Ocon has DRS on me. This is a small DRS train. Now heading into lap 5, turn 1. And we decided to brake a bit earlier than usual to set ourselves up for the switchback move. And Stroll was caught off guard. He was caught napping. We completely mugged him off. And now we can focus on catching up our teammate Robert Schwartzman now heading into turn 3. I do go a bit wide at the apex. I tried to go for the switchback, but the corner was a bit too tight. So I was a bit foolish to make that decision. But lately Stroll has been a bit off the pace ever since Montreal, I think, because he DNF'd out his home race. As now we head into turn 6, I believe this is, and Robert Schwartzman is keeping quite a good gap, and Charles Leclerc is actually not that far away. So we are starting to see a lot of improvements as we're fighting the midfield teams now, or maybe Leclerc just doesn't have any focus as we now close up to our teammate Robert Schwartzman now heading into turn 9. We're obviously going to get DRS as we go off the track a little bit. And there's the footage being compressed once again. I'm not sure why. As now we are trying to go around the outside of Robert Schwartzman, leaving the space of one F1 car's length at the apex there. And we managed to catch Schwartzman. There's Lance Stroll trying to go around the outside of Robert Schwartzman, and Schwartzman gets double overtaken in between turn 1 and turn 2. So not really a good day for the Russian as we now head into turn 5. Sorry, turn 7. No, sorry, turn 6. Now turn 7. And Stroll is going to get the pace now because he's on the mediums, and now everyone on the soft compound tires is going to pit. We are going to pit as well, and so we do block Stroll just a little bit as we now head into the pit entry. Speed limit of 80 kph, and we managed to slow it down just about. And there is the Mercedes engineers there on the seats there. As we now head into the pits, there is Charles Leclerc now in 19th place, and there's Latifi overtaking us. And this is quite a fast pit stop. I think this was 1.8 second pit stop, and we are gonna go out of the pit lane. We have to be quite careful of the apex there. And that was actually quite a good stop from the pit crew. Usually we will get like 2.4 seconds of the pit stop, but our pit crew is gonna be Red Bull mode for today's race since we're at the Red Bull ring, or maybe that's just a coincidence. As now here we are in lap 11, now heading down the second sector, heading down turn 6. Latifi is ahead of us, so he hasn't pitted yet, and we do get overcut by one place. Sorry, we didn't get overcut by one place, but then wait, there's yellow flags. What happened there? I think that involves Charles Leclerc in the yellow flags because I think he did slow down a little bit in turn 10, so I'm not sure what was that all about. But now we are up to 11th place. So sorry, we did undercut one person. I think that was Latifi if I'm not wrong. But anyway, back to the story. Leclerc, I'm not sure whether he has any damage or anything. And we do have to start lifting and coasting because we need to really aggressively save a lot of fuel within the final few laps, especially with the rain. We need to hope that the rain is going to come really soon so that we can at least save some fuel in the rain, because we're going to go slower throughout the corners, so it's really an opportunity to save a lot of fuel. So anyway, with all of that, Leclerc has slowed down by 1 second. He's right there in front of us, now 2.5 seconds slower than us. I think he has front wing damage, I'm not sure, but he's really losing a lot of time, and he has a full front wing damage. That's why the yellow flags was up. There was debris on the track, and he's really slow. Look at that, really a horrendous sight to view as he now goes into the pit lane. Ferrari not doing very well right now. They did drop one place down in the R&D charts, and there is his teammate Carlos Sainz in P8, only 4 points most definitely for Ferrari. As now there's Charles Leclerc switching to the soft compound tires, also switching his front wing to get a new one. And based on Ferrari's performance, they are getting quite pretty average. I think they might drop down the order, or maybe just that the focus isn't that high for the Monegasque driver. And I have no idea why Lewis Hamilton is all the way down in 21st place behind Nikita Mazepin. It's just so unnatural to see. As now we head down into lap 15, the rain is going to start coming around now. There should be quite a few little raindrops as we do lift and coast a little bit, but Schwartzman does get DRS. And I want him to get closer to me so that I can lift off and get the DRS from him. And we lift off by quite a lot, and we managed to get behind him for the DRS detection. And that gives us the opportunity for DRS to re-overtake him again to get 10th place for that 1 point that I desperately want. As he now tried to go and defend down the inside, but he does lock up. And there is the rain now. If you look at the halo, you can see somewhat black lines, I would say, because that's the raindrops heading down our way. And unfortunately, it was not too wet to switch to the intermediate tires, so we do have like over 0.3 laps of fuel to save. We do have like over 0.3 laps of fuel to save up, so we really need to hope that the rain at least comes down at around now lap 16, as we now have DRS trying to set us up for the overtake. Now heading into turn 1, we tried going for the switchback, but I think because of a little lack of grip due to the raindrops, didn't allow us to get the grip for the switchback as we now head into the hairpin of turn 3. we at least get the 10th place. But Schwartzman does have DRS. He's starting to close in. As you know, fast forward to lap 70, it's completely wet, but um, we still have one more lap of racing to go, so it's not worth it to pit. And we are suffering through a lot of aquaplaning now, heading into the final lap, all the way to the checkered flag. As we go wide at turn 1, we do brake quite a bit too late, but at least we do get the DRS now with the rear wing open. As we're now heading into turn 3, it's a bit wet on the camera lens, as you can see from there, as we try to squeeze ourselves down the inside. Now heading into turn 3. Reminds me of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg's clash in 2016 here in Austria 6 years ago. But at least we still do get the DRS for being behind Robert Schwartzman, and we still do have to save quite a lot of fuel. By now I think we have less than 0.2 laps of fuel to save. Probably 0.1 laps of fuel, I think. And Ocon is not that far behind, and we now try to defend Schwartzman, but he does try to go for somewhat of a switchback. But I managed to hold on to the position now heading into turn 7. Schwartzman's not that far behind. And I was right about the 97 AI difficulty, because we're getting quite a lot of battles with our teammate, which is especially more entertaining as we now head down the final few corners. I'm struggling to keep on the track limits, but I think that should be it as we now head towards the checkered flag. Now heading into the last corner, we managed to hold on to 10th place, and that is what we need.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. For our championship leader, and their advantage
Now for today's race, it was really entertaining to see me and my teammate really battle it out for 10th place, and Nikita Mazepin is up to 12th place, so it's really surprising to see Mazepin go up the pecking order. So probably he might be our driver. Maybe I might do it for the memes and all that. But anyway, looking at the standings, Lando Norris is starting to battle the AI. Lando Norris is starting to battle the top 3 drivers now, and I don't know. I still have no idea why Lewis Hamilton pitted way too early. Probably because that he was involved in Leclerc's incident. But anyway, that is already happened, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. I am the Fat Boy. If you really enjoyed, smash a like, and yeah, that's it. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
These guys are impossible to race with. Impossible.